Porsche 911 Dakar. Depending on your viewpoint, this is either a very expensive, very stupid Porsche, or if you subscribe to my view of the world, you realize that the shortest distance and the fastest way to get between 2 points is a straight line driving very, very sideways. This is going to be a light-hearted, short look at the 911 Dakar. We're going to be driving this thing off-road. We're going to terrorize Mark around Autobahn Country Club, and then we're going to take it into the shop. I'm going to walk you through how Porsche turned this thing into an off-roader. So with that, enjoy the video. Before we head into the shop, let's briefly talk about the interior and exterior of the 911 Dakar. Starting with the interior space, this is a 992.1 interior, which means we've covered it about 1 billion times on this channel. Moment of silence for the analog tach and the physical key to the left of the wheel that starts the car. In the 992.2, they've deleted the beautiful tach for a all-digital display, and they've moved to a more traditional push-button start. Past that, same interior you know and love. This car comes standard with the lightweight package, which means no rear seats. You can either get this with carbon buckets or a more traditional leather seat, and you get a nice little plaque here that says Dakar and what number you are out of 2500. From an exterior perspective, they've spiced up the 911. You have unique front and rear fascias with better approach and departure angles. You get a carbon fiber hood off of the GT3 and a fixed wing that looks very similar to the 911 Turbo Wing. Past that though, let's head in the shop and put this thing up on the lift. The Porsche 911 Dakar. What is this car? Well, if you want to go off-road in the sand dunes, you can buy this thing, or if you want a true all-year daily driver that can deal with bad roads, snow, and salt, that's the Dakar. This thing is more than just a regular 911 with a lift kit. This has a complete, comprehensive look at how to make a 911 an off-road vehicle. They internally approach this as a lesson in how to make a 911 an off-road vehicle. So they brought in engineers that worked on the Macan and the Cayenne who had experience with off-road vehicles, along with development drivers who've historically raced cars off-road. So before we talk about the drivetrain and everything else, let's talk about chassis. This thing has over 6 inches of ground clearance, like 2 inches more than a base 911. It's similar to something like a Cayenne or Macan. The approach and departure angle is 16.1 degrees, the approach angle. That is 2 degrees less than a Crosstrek, to give you an idea. This is genuinely somewhat capable of going off-road and bombing around sand dunes. They put about 500,000 kilometers on these things in development drives. How do they accomplish this? Let's start with the shocks and the springs. They are longer travel shocks and springs. It is a 50 millimeter basic ride height increase over a 911 with sport suspension. When you activate the lift system, essentially they've repurposed the front end lift and added to the rear as well. It raises it another 30 millimeters. They increase the overall hydraulic pressure from 1,600 PSI to nearly 2,000, which was mainly done again to deal with the fact that this thing needs to be raised much, much quicker. It can drive in maximum ride height up to just over 100 miles an hour. The spring rates, they are about 36 or 38 newtons per millimeter in the front. Traditionally, they're 63 in a GTS. So when it comes to the front spring rates, it's about a little less than or a little more than halved. It's similar spring rates to a regular Carrera. The rear went from 152 newtons per millimeter to like 115 or 130. It's a much softer vehicle. You can feel the weight transfer. They recalibrated the PDCC, the active sway bars, the rear steer, and the PTV, or the electronic rear differential, to work with the suspension, its floaty nature, and of course all of the various off-road modes. They programmed the PDK and of course all the other subsystems to work with sport mode, normal, rally mode, which allows for more slip, and of course pure off-road mode. They also designed true all-terrain tires that can go high speed. Traditionally, all-terrain tires don't like high speeds due to temperature and their construction. These things will do up to 149 miles an hour, where this thing is electronically limited to, and it will maintain grip levels high enough in this vehicle that this Dakar, this all-terrain tire-equipped 911, can lap the ring to a similar time as something like a 996 GT3. When it comes to cooling and drivetrain, this has the 3-liter bi-turbo flat 6. This is the older 992.1 GTS engine. It makes a little over 470 horsepower, 420 foot-pounds of torque. It's good for 0 to 60 in the low 3s, high 2s. I think Car and Driver tested this on asphalt. Got 2.9, 0 to 60. Very, very impressive numbers for something with all-terrain tires. The cooling has been altered, primarily to deal with rocks and debris, and of course the approach and departure packaging differences. So the central radiator has been deleted, has the 650 watt fans off the turbo. For the side coolers, on track you're looking at oil temps similar to like a regular 911. You can track this thing. You can optionally also get Under Armour protection, which this press vehicle does not have. If you are going to off-road this thing, you absolutely need it, because the 911 of this generation has a plastic oil pan, so don't hit a rock with it. Past that though, I think it's time for Mark and I to go take this for a quick drive at Autobahn Country Club. 911 Dakar, Mark. We just drove the new GTS. This has the old GTS engine, 3-liter 9A2 Evo engine. This is going to be a different kind of lap, Mark. With the off-road prowess of this car, we can explore new avenues of driving, Mark.
This is the wrong way.
Yeah!
That's the wrong way. That's not how we take the proper line on off-road tires.
When you're in the Dakar, all lines are the right line.
I think we're about a million miles away from the Dakar right now, from Dakar.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah!
Who in the right mind?
Yeah!
Who's taking this to a track?
A god, Mark.
Oh, you?
A gentleman.
You just spent $300,000?
Yeah, and you want to explore what a Dakar can do. Oh, look at this. Oh, right here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah!
Oh my God. Well, at least you know you can go off the track.
No, see, this is the perfect year-round car, Mark. You have bad highways, you have bad roads. I-90 in Illinois might as well be the Dakar Baja with how bad the pavement is, and then you can drive all sorts of pavement however you want, and then you can take it to a track. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, and you can go sideways. What else do you want? It's still one of the best chassis around. It rides well. The trans tuning is still tremendous. This engine sounds better than the new GTS engine. Makes nearly 500 horsepower. Good brakes. I mean, come on. And when you take away some grip, you get the magic. You get the magic involved with cars.
It's a 911. It's a sport utility vehicle 911.
Yeah, and you can explore the fastest line. You can be in your GT3, but then I can do this. I can do this.
So you can shortcut the track.
Yeah, and I can still beat you. Exactly. Or if you go to Whole Foods, you can hop the curbs, Mark.
I will never understand this car, Jack. You can try to sell it to me any way you want. This is just ridiculous.
You know, Germans don't have a good sense of humor, but yeah.
maybe if we were on an actual
rallycross course,
yeah, or in traffic. No, I mean I get it, Jack. I that's all I'm gonna say. I get it, but I don't get it.
So, Mark, with that, I'm very grateful we got a short period of time in the car. I'm grateful that track limits don't matter to me anymore.
Oh, it is unbelievable how you don't feel anything. Like you literally don't feel anything over curbing or anything. So
the chassis tuning in this, Mark. I mean, we just spent time with one of the guys who's in charge of this thing, and it's pretty amazing what they managed to accomplish. So with that, as we got checkered for the session, Mark, let me send you off with the last thing that I want to do in this car.
Okay.
Final thoughts on the Porsche 911 Dakar. In the words of Chris, our PA, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and that is exactly what you can do in the 911 Dakar. You can drive this thing like an absolute idiot, and it is deeply entertaining. This is proof that Porsche has a sense of humor, and no, the Dakar is not just a marketing stunt. Clearly, they spent a lot of R&D budget to make this thing as capable as it is, on and off road. Is it a lot of money? Yes, it is a lot of money. The MSRP of this thing was like $225,000. Dealers want between like $300 and $450 grand for this car, which is asinine. But if you have the money to spend on something like this, I can assure you it will leave you with a giant smile on your face. That is some of the most fun I've had driving an Autobahn in a very, very long time. If you are complete baller status and you want to use this thing as a daily driver and you live in a four-season state, I can assure you this will be some of the most fun you could have other than like a Lamborghini Storado or whatever it's called. So with that, thanks for watching, and huge thanks to Autobahn Country Club for giving us their facility. If you're looking to do a track day, please look at their calendar. If you want to become a member, hit them up, do a track day rental, or of course, they also have their Autobahn Driver Academy. They're celebrating their 20 years of service, and as a part of it, they now have a driving program that can teach you how to become a better driver. You can bring your own car, you can do a half day or a full day program, and there's no better way to experience your vehicle than on track and getting to learn how to drive your car. So with that, thanks for watching. I hope to see you soon.